we've developed this global food system. And really, there's just a few players globally. I mean, there's 4 seed companies that produce almost 30% of the world's commercially available seeds. Monsanto and Syngenta and DuPont and Lima Grain. There's 5 or 6 chemical companies in Monsanto and Syngenta and DuPont. You hear them again. There's just a few traders that, process and trade a lot of the grain that moves between nations. You've got, you got like Tyson produces a lot of protein in the United States, and it has joint ventures in Mexico and Brazil. I mean, you've got all of these things happening. So you've just got a few firms. You've got, 5 or 6 major global retailers that are emerging, like Walmart and Carrefour, that are really operating across lots of different countries. Well, they require international supply chains then, those global grocers. And, where are decisions made in the food system then? A lot of the decisions really get made on the boards of directors of those firms that are really they're not the only players, but they're really dominant players in the global food system. And so what's happened is decisions about food have become very private. They rest on publicly traded companies who are responsible to shareholders. Instead of being in the public arena, like this is the kind of food we want. This is the kind of reserves we want. We want to know more about our food. Those are all things that national governments actually used to pay a lot of attention to, decisions about food. And so that's, I think, the real change in the food system, and we have to rethink that if we're going to ensure food justice. As we've moved into the private arena, I think consumers have said, wow, we're not sure we like that. We've got food safety recalls, we don't know where our food is coming from, and so they're really voting to go to farmers markets and going to, community-supported agriculture farms. So I think that it's becoming more and more of a priority as people, delve into the politics of food a little bit. It's becoming more of a priority to know about food, and that will open new decision-making potentially. But it's not certain. I mean, the food system, in a lot of ways, it's been globalizing and consolidating very rapidly. And it's not just the U.S. food system. The European food system is, very similar. The Southeast Asian food system, we think, oh, they got food from food markets. Well, supermarkets are penetrating there. They're penetrating China. These things are being spread globally. And so, everybody's starting to grapple with this and starting to ask a lot of questions. And so I think we have opportunities right now with the logic of the market hasn't been particularly successful right now. And so I think we have a lot of opportunities to say, wow, the market kind of screwed up with our pensions, the market kind of screwed up with our, with all of these other things. And are we sure we want to give food over to the marketplace? Because you got 40 days and you're out of here. You don't get food, 40 days, you're gone. So why would we give food and water, these very basic human necessities, over to the logic of the marketplace? There might be a place for that logic to a certain extent, but there's got to be some other kinds. I think food is totally special. It's much different. Can't be treated as a commodity, just like water and land. I think you have problems when you start to treat these things as a commodity. And that's what you have to rethink. And it's going to take a lot of transition. 95% of the food we eat in this country, comes through a mainstream, globalized, industrialized food system. There's about 5% that come through alternative means. It takes a lot of work. Our farmers have to ramp up really fast. They got to learn a lot of things. We got to get these things going. So it will take some time, but I think it's possible, it's achievable.